Everybody says, oh, I'd take a bullet for my kids. You won't lose 40 pounds for them. You won't prolong life. If you think you're a real asset to your family, why wouldn't you try to maximize that time? When you do fitness for a long time, 50 years old, you've been doing fitness for a very long time, you are so in tune with that vessel that when something does pop up, you identify it right away.
You know, people who think they're injured or who are in pain and don't resolve that are very difficult to be around. Very difficult. I've been that person. It's just everything grates on you.
You go into buds, you wake up, you work out essentially all day long, go to sleep. It's the same thing. When you get to the SEAL team, you do the same thing. Everybody wakes up, everybody does fitness the very first thing, and then we start our day. It's been really successful. Why would I ever break that? You see guys when they transition out, they get away from it, they gain a bunch of weight, they start drinking. You working out 5 days a week? No. Why? You've been doing it since you were 17 years old. Why would you break it now? Why?
Yeah, why do you think that happens?
I think guys use excuses, injuries, limitations, lack of motivation, like, oh, there's no reason for me to be in shape. Longevity of life. Everybody says, oh, I'd take a bullet for my kids. You won't lose 40 pounds for them. You won't prolong life. If you think you're a real asset to your family, why wouldn't you try to maximize that time? So I look at him now. It doesn't take a whole lot. Like, you don't have to be David Goggins. You don't have to run 100 miles a day. You can wake up and do a 20-minute walk every single day and you'll be better off for it. You could grab a set of kettlebells, 30 minutes in your garage. That is something every single day that makes you exponentially better just through the repetition of being there, being present, being a little selfish right now so you can be selfish later. So for me, if I don't get that workout in, and everybody's got stuff going on, I do too. If I don't get that block of fitness in, I will think about that all day long. I'll think about it for weeks. We go back, the next time we hit that muscle group, I don't get the same numbers I thought I would. Well, that's because I took Monday off. I'm never gonna put myself in that position. I don't wanna have to have an excuse. So I set the foundation, I lay it down, I stamped it on a piece of paper. That's what I'm doing. I'm not compromising on it. And it's been great for us.
That's awesome. I mean, as somebody who got into resistance training in his teens and running, I confess over the years, I felt some guilt around working out because in my community of scientists, I mean, now I have a much broader community. You know, you go to meetings, everyone's sitting all day and eating bad food. And then, you know, and then it was happy hour. I was never much of a drinker, but I would participate a bit until eventually I just stopped drinking entirely. And occasionally I would sneak off during some of the, I'll just be honest, the weak talks. I was like, I've seen this person speak before, I'm gonna get a workout in. And only once did I ever run into a colleague in the gym at one of these places. And we both were like, it was like getting caught doing something bad.
Yeah.
But then the years went by and I saw my colleagues start to die. I saw my colleagues start to get sick. I saw my colleagues start to resemble melted candles. And these were people that had a lot of robustness and they also had a lot to offer, and families and friends. And so I think nowadays people think about physical fitness a little bit differently. They understand it's an investment and therefore it's beneficial to the people around you. But I still see a lot of people kind of couch it, especially with respect to anything that relates to muscle, as kind of selfish and narcissistic and this kind of thing. And I think it's so important that people understand the mental health benefits, but also the benefits that it can bring the people in your life. And not just longevity, but just the person that it brings. You really understand yourself. You know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, you know, the oracle, know thyself. It's like so important. If you don't get that workout, you're gonna have to force out being best husband, best dad, best teammate. And if you do get that workout, they still get that best dad, everything, but it's that much more genuine and it probably is in abundance.
One of the things that nobody ever talks about is your body awareness. When you do fitness for a long time, 50 years old, you've been doing fitness for a very long time, you are so in tune with that vessel that when something does pop up, you identify it right away. When you don't, you're like, my back kind of hurts. Where? You don't know. I'm in tune with that thing so well that when I walk into a doctor, I'm like, take a needle 3 inches down, rotate it over 45 degrees, and that's where it is. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm so in tune with it. So when anything pops up, I can diagnose it. I can walk in and give them actual feedback of what's happening. I'm not just sitting on the couch all day long, just like, my neck kind of hurts. No, I know exactly what it is. I'm doing a full diagnostic approach the entire day. And that's why I've got Vernon. I mean, he's the best strength coach in the world. And if I wouldn't have that guy, I would be, I mean, he's brought me back from the dead more times than I can count. but it's 5 days a week. I mean, he's in there every day. So if I walk in and I've got a slight limp on my left side, he's like, hey, my man, come over. What is that? And I was like, nothing. He's like, bruised heel? Yeah, how'd you know it was a bruised heel? He's like, I watched that broad jump on Friday. Like, you landed a little funky. I want to see if it's going to mess with you. He IDs it. I ID'd it. I just wasn't going to say anything. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Right? Be proactive instead of reactive. But that's because you're chipping away and, you're understanding yourself so well because you are constantly in tune with your body. And people just forget about it. Like, why aren't you sleeping? Oh, I had caffeine at 4 o'clock. Oh, I'm accountable for everything I put in my body and then everything that comes out of me. The gym's just one of the methods that really ties them all together for me.
The body awareness piece, I think, is something that we should also underscore a bit. I think one thing that happens if people don't develop body awareness is that they don't learn the difference between something that hurts and an injury. A few years ago, right before going on Cam Hanes' podcast, where you carry that rock. I was about to say he makes you carry the rock, but you don't have to. You carry the rock up. The thing's heavy, 72 pounds, slippery, it's muddy, it's 1,000 feet of elevation, and people do it, right? You can do it, but I popped a hamstring on the hamstring curl machine like a couple days before. Oh. But I didn't pop it. Like, it didn't unravel up the tendon. So I was like, I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, because that's going to create its own thing. I was like, I'm hurt. It hurt, but I'm not injured. And knowing that line is really important, because if you are injured, it'd be the stupidest thing in the world to carry that rock up that hill, right? You end up out for 6 months potentially, or 4 months. I had years ago a back pain, kind of sciatica thing, and I couldn't stand up. And I actually was online, it was Instagram, and I have no business affiliation to this kid, but there was I think he's a chiropractor. He has this channel called Rehab Fix. And he convinced me that what I need to do is some like up dog things. It looks like you're kind of like humping the floor, your pelvis is down and you're pushing up, and you repeat those. It's kind of like lizard push-ups, and then against the wall if you can't actually do that from the floor. Within 3 days, it resolved itself. And I was thinking about pain meds, which I don't like to take. In fact, I avoid them entirely. I was thinking, am I gonna have to have surgery? I mean, I could not stand up. I couldn't move, I couldn't do it. And I realized then, I was like, okay, the line between hurt and truly injured is often kind of blurry, and you need to be able to work through that space. And you think about this, and it through one lens, and it sounds like a selfish thing. Oh, it's all about being able to work out more. You think about it through another lens, it's people who think they're injured or who are in pain and don't resolve that are very difficult to be around. Very difficult. I've been that person. It's just everything grates on you. Yep. And male, female, young or old, people now, they talk about their neck or they sleep right. And I think being able to suck stuff up is really great. It's also important to know when you have a real issue. And so the body awareness thing, I think, is a gift to oneself. You can avoid a lot of costs, a lot of unnecessary medical interventions. You can know when it's time to take action with proper medical intervention, but also it really allows you to be in life with people without being the person that's always complaining about stuff or is just difficult. I think a lot of people who are difficult are in pain and they don't know how to resolve that pain. Yep. And they think they have a problem with pain, so then they take pain medication, and that's a whole cycle. So I just, wanted to underscore that kind of where we're headed here, it seems again and again, is with, what seems selfish is actually one of the most selfless things you can do.